Hi, you guys. You saw the title? You already know what it was. You already know what it was, and you already know what it is. It's my dating horror story time. I met a stalker. Yeah, for real. A real deal stalker. It was the year of my 39th birthday. I had been through a lot. I was in the process of getting a divorce. And I think some other things that transpired. Just a whole lot going on. So I said, I'm not going to wait for my 40th birthday. I'm a party now. I'm going to do something. I'm going to celebrate life. Because this last year, it'll knock me off my game. So I called a local club. My birthday fell on a Tuesday this particular year. And I called a local club to do a reservation for a party. They had an event where the radio station came out on Tuesdays, and it was 4 for $4. Buy one drink, get four for the price of one. Now, I'm no drinker, never have. And I doubt I'll ever be a drinker. You know, I may sip every blue moon. But I was in my feelings and feeling some type of way. And just like now, you know, we got this pandemic, there was an epidemic going on then, and it was called the bird flu. And a lot of people had died this particular year or whatever. So I think that was kind of stopping people. And I was feeling some kind of way because who I thought was going to be there, you know, my day ones, my ride or dies, they were non-existent. Text one friend and she was like, I'm in the hospital with the bird flu. And I'm like, the bird flu? You in the hospital? But anyway, text one friend. She was like, it's cold outside. I'm not coming out. Just like that. And sometimes she would show up in my car and say, hop in the car with me. And we would go somewhere. You know, we were just that tight. And you mean to tell me you can't show up for me and I done had the year from hell, and you gonna tell me, it's cold, and I'm in the bed. So, that was what I was dealing with. And I bought some wine, you know, for my party, whatever. And I'm sipping on it, and a mess because I was feeling in my way. I was feeling some kind of way. Instead of being thankful for my friends that did show up, I'm just being a little brat. So and so didn't show up. So and so didn't show up. You know, but I've grown since then. Be thankful for the ones that did show up for you. So I get up to dance and I fell flat on my butt. I mean, I fell. I fell. And I wasn't really looking for anybody, and I was standing there because I said, I'm not going back out there because I don't fail. You know, I'm so embarrassed. And I was standing at my table just, you know, dancing and doing my little stuff. And this guy came up and he, you know, got over here dancing and, you know, just in a good mood, dancing. And I'm like, okay, I can get with that. I can get with that. And I saw one of my girlfriends standing in the background and she was like, and I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. And she was studying. And I'm like, yeah, girl, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. And she studied. I thought she was giving me the cue to do certain moves. But obviously, we'll get to that later. But put a pin in it right there. She doing this in the background. So, yeah. When the night, the guy, you know, he kept coming back, you know. So then we had a little conversation, whatever. And doing something I never do. And like I said, I was in my feelings and, you know, add alcohol to it. Okay, I'm going to slip him my number, you know, whatever. I got ready to get up again and boom. It was like every time I stood up, boom, I would hit that darn ground. So I was like, I'm finna go. I'm finna pack this food up. I had the waitress to bring me some boxes because I had all this food, and the ones that were there, they were trying to be cute and one trying to eat or whatever. I had all the food. I'm like, I'm gonna take this food home. So, I packed my food up, and, I told my friends, hey, I'm finna go because I'm through booking. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Can't stay no longer. Gotta go. Gotta go because your girl is through. So I left, and, I made it home safely. I gave my friend, I was like, I don't want that alcohol. You can have it. And she was like, shoot, yeah, I'm going to take this home. I drink this. This used to be my drink, yeah. But she was a drinker. She was like, but let me know, when you make it home, whatever, let me know. Yeah, your girl was bootlegged. I made it home, though, no altercations, no significant events, anything like that. So one of my good guy male friends, he called me and was like, you okay? You know you don't drink. You ain't had no business drinking. You at home? I'm like, yeah. He was like, they got the fighting after you left. They done told the club up. That's why I don't like going on Tuesday nights. I'd rather go on Thursday night because it's the older crowd. On Tuesday night, the radio station was there. On Thursday nights, it was a live band. If you get my drift, that was the difference between the night. Radio station, equals young people. It was a young radio station as opposed to a live band. When you got a live band, it's a more settled crowd or whatever. But my birthday fell on the Tuesday, so I'm going with when my birthday is and not necessarily the age demographic. So he was like, oh, them ninjas got to fight. And like I said, this club, it was like 6 to 12 on Tuesday, 6 to 11. Started early, was an after work set. Started early, ended early. Cool. So he was like, they got to fight, whatever, whatever. So then the guy that I met, he called me, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 all that. So cool. He had good conversation. He told me he worked for the sheriff department, serving warrants. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. We talked the whole week. Keep in mind, this was a Tuesday. And he had shared some things with me that he had got shot serving a warrant in the stomach, and he had been in the hospital and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he didn't know much about me, but we had talked the whole week. But I did say, he said, you go to church? And I was like, yeah. And I told him what church I go to. No, I didn't tell him what church I go to. He said, who is your pastor? And I told him who my pastor was. He said, you know what? You remember when I told you I got shot? I think somebody that worked at the hospital or one of his friends or whatever. It's like, I know somebody that can come pray for you, whatever, whatever. And it was this particular pastor. And he was like, do you go to such and such church on such and such street? Great big old church. I'm like, yeah, that's my church. That's so cool. I'm cool with the pastor, blah, blah, blah. That's amazing. Woman of God, blah, 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 blah. So we talking all week. Come Friday, I usually don't just go out with people that quick. But I was still kind of in my feelings, whatever. And I had took my children to school. I want to say they were seniors. My twins were seniors in high school. And my neighbor waved me down. And she was like, baby, can you come help me? I got to be at work and my car won't start. And I don't know what's wrong. So I told the guy on the phone, because, I'm talking to him after I dropped my kids off. I was like, let me call you back because I'm about to help my neighbor. So I'm trying to boost her call, and I'm study boosting it. It won't say anything. I mean, a word. So she was like, let me call a tow truck. And somehow I said, well, let me boost it. When I got in the car, I realized what was wrong with her car. It wasn't that she needed a boost off and the battery was dead. And I had, tried to boost the car off several times, whatever. She didn't have the car in gear. So when she put the key in, if you know anything about cars, a car not going to start if it's not in gear. So I'm like, cancel your tow truck, whatever, whatever. She was like, thank you, baby. Let me give you some money. And I'm like, you don't owe me anything, I don't have a problem helping you. Never feel like you have to give me any money. So I hop back in my car to bag out her driveway and get in my driveway. She lived directly across the street from me, but it was a little angle, so I bagged. I look at my car. Get my car and look at my phone. I got 12 missed calls. And I'm like, I know this ninja ain't called me 12 times, and I told him I'm finna help my neighbor. So I'm kind of perturbed because you're not going to handle me that way. So I called and I was like, look, I told you I would call you back. I'm finna help my neighbor. You done called me 12 times. What do you want? And I was only at a house a few minutes. 12 times you done called me. And I'm sorry. I want to take you out to lunch. I want to take you out to lunch. I was like, well, okay, that's fine. So I kind of calmed down a little bit. I said, but you don't have to call me 12 times. I said, I saw when you called me, I see the missed call. 1 missed call, 12 missed call. They the same. I said, but you can't call me 12 times like that. And I told you I'll call you back. I'm sorry. I just, I'm really liking your vibe. And I just really want to take you out for lunch. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Let me go in the house and get myself together. I think I was on vacation from work that week. I think I was on vacation that week. Whatever reason, I didn't have to go to work that day. Wait a minute, I'm going to give my granddaughter. Stop it. Sorry about that. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I got cleaned up. I said, I'll call you back once I get my clothes on. And, you can tell me where to meet you, whatever, whatever. So after I got myself dressed and I think I put some jeans and a blouse and a boot on. It was March, so it was cool. It wasn't cold, but it was cool outside. This is the beginning of March, so, just something, it was daytime. Nothing spectacular. Just, I kept it cute, whatever. So he was like, well, dog, my mama got my truck. I let her use my truck. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll meet you some other time or whatever, because I usually, the way I did with dating, I'll meet you there. You're not coming to my house to pick me up, or anything like that. It's just, safety for me and safety for my kids. So he was like, well, I really want to take you out, and you say you on vacation or you off work. And this was gonna be like the only open time frame. I'm like, okay. I tell you what, I'll pick you up, cause me thinking in my mind, I'm still in control, cause I'm in my car. So I said, I'll be there, give me your address, whatever. And he told me how to get to his house. And I said, okay, be dressed, be ready when I get there. And I pulled up, even though a man not supposed to pull up and blow for a woman, I pulled up in the driveway and I blew the horn. And he stuck his, come to the door. So I got out the car, but that ain't my style. I ain't got no business going to your house because you don't know me and I don't know you like that. But I went to the door, and when I got to the door, he had on white t-shirt and gym shorts. And I looked him up and down and I said, but you not dressed. He said, but it ain't gonna take me long. I done had my shower, come in and have a seat. So I came in and I sat down. Nice house in Whitehaven, right around the corner from Elvis Presley Mansion. So, it wasn't no bad looking house or nothing like that. Nothing, seemed strange. So when I sat down, he sat down too and was just looking at me smiling. And I'm like, are you gonna get dressed? What's the deal? Oh, no TV, so I just want to sit down. You're so beautiful. I just want to admire you. I'm like, okay, get dressed. So he was like, it's a TV back here. You want to watch TV or whatever? And I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever. Just get dressed. I watch TV. And when I walked in the room, the darn TV was a chair. I tell you no lie. A chair like the chairs they have in school. Like the plastic chairs with the metal that you can stack, the stackable chairs. Dude had a chair like that with a TV sitting on the chair. The bed, the mattress was it had a loop. And the mattress was sitting on two milk crates. And I'm saying to myself, hell to the no. Hell to the no, no, no. Hell no. And I just couldn't believe it. And there was another chair with a fan sitting on the chair. So I'm standing there and he looking at me like, sit down. And I'm saying to myself, I said, I don't sit on people's beds. No, no, not gonna happen. This is not what I do. I'm thinking to myself, I ain't finna sit on that nasty bed. So he moved the fan out the chair and I sat in the chair. I sat there and I said to myself, I got to go. And I'm sitting there thinking. So I can't remember if he called somebody or the phone rang. Hey, you on your way? You on your way? Well, come on. And I thought the call was strong. He called somebody. He was like, yeah, I called my mama. My mama, she on her way. She went to cash my income tax check. And I'm like, yo, income tax check. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, hell to the no, no, no. That conversation just didn't seem right. I'm like, you call somebody, you ain't say hello, hey, how you doing? You just saying, come on. And I'm like, is this nigga finna rape me? Excuse my French. I got to go. So I'm thinking, because I'm like, I'm already. And I start, the bird flu was going around, remember? So I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm just coughing. Lord, I hope I ain't got the bird flu. I'm saying, you want some water? You want something to drink? And I said to myself, hell no, I want nothing from here. So I said, I got some cough drops in the car. Let me get up and go get a cough drop. And I acted like I was choking. And I got up real fast and went to the door that I came out of. Man, I was in the back of the house. And the door, of course, was in the front. So I got up and I moved faster than I ever moved by life. And I acted like I was choking. So when I got to the door, I'm like, dog, it's a storm door. Hope the door ain't locked. I hope the door ain't locked. And when I got to the door and turned the knob, it was not locked. And I said to myself, ooh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So I hopped in my car real fast. And when I hopped in my car and put the key in and I turned the car faster than I ever cranked the car ever in my life. And by the time I put the key in the door, he came to the door. And I didn't even lock the door. My car, once you put it in gear and start banging back, the doors lock automatically. So I'm in the car and I just all the way back out that driveway. If a car had been coming, I'd have been in some serious trouble because I got out that driveway. He called, called, and I ain't answer the phone. I'm like going. Where can I go? I'm not finna go home. And I was just paranoid. I ain't know if he's gonna follow me or what. I'm just rolling. So I went to my girlfriend's house. And when I get to her house, I'm telling her about the dude. She said, when you were talking to him, I thought you were just having fun because you was in some kind of way. I kept telling you, I kept doing this right here. And she said, you just studied every time I did that. She said, I don't know. She said, you were lit. I don't know what you could think about. She said, but I'll try to tell you. And I was pointing down. She said, and I meant to tell you, but I forget. Don't keep that number because dude's shoes was busted. But you was drunk and you was in your feelings. But I would try to tell you, don't keep the number. Look at the shoes, because us women, we got a thing. We look at a man, if a man's shoes are nice and intact, he know how to take care of himself. But that's how you look at a man's feet. And like I said, I was drinking, doing some I never do, so I was just in the moment, whatever. And I was like, what? So when I looked down at my phone, I had 12 missed calls, 12 voicemails, and I had over 100 texts within maybe a 10-minute time frame. He didn't know my last name. He didn't know where I lived. The only thing, personal information that he knew what church I went to. So first it was like, why did you leave? 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 I mean, just back to back to back. And then, why did you leave? Why did you just up and leave? So I go to listening to the messages. I'm at my friend's house and he was like, since you won't answer my phone call and respond, I'll just see you Sunday at such and such o'clock at such and such a church on such and such a street, pastor such and such. And I look, oh my God, he knows what church I go to. And my friend was like, girl, he ain't coming. He ain't got no car. That was just a lie. He ain't got no car. He ain't got no car, girl. He ain't coming. He ain't coming. That man harassed me, called me, text me, and he would send 100 texts in 3 minutes. And I'm like, okay, this was before call block and all that. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I picked my kids up from school. I stayed on my friend's house. It was time to pick my kids up from school. And I went and picked them up, and I went by the police station. There was a Hispanic police officer and then an older officer, and I actually knew that officer. He was the officer at the high school that I went to years prior. And I gave him the guy's information. I said he works for the sheriff department, so they call themselves trying to do a search. They couldn't find any information, but they did find the address or whatever. And they was like, well, we don't have any information. You don't have a record. But the Hispanic officer kept saying, well, that's not a threat. That's not a threat because somebody called you multiple times. It's not a threat. That's not a threat. That's not a threat. Then the older black gentleman officer, he was like, look, we got two different cultures or whatever. He said, but something wrong if a man calling you and texting you like that, back to back to back to back in our culture, and you need to take the police report. So he took the police report, gave me police number and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I programmed a number in my phone as do not answer. And it was like, every day, certain time I get all these calls. Watch you leave, watch you leave. So that was on a Friday. So come Sunday, I was like, I can't tell my parents because they gonna be so worried. And my mama, she was the type of person, you shouldn't be dating anyway. Worry about, raising your kids. That's the type, live for your children. You don't need no man, whatever, whatever. So I told my sister, and she was like, girl, that's crazy. So we had a deacon at the church that he was saved and he was a deacon, but he wasn't always saved and he was in the street. And he was kind of in the family, so somebody had got sick and they had to take the person out. In church, took the person out. So I was like, I'm finna get up and tell them. So when they were trying to, get a person and they had fainted, got happy or whatever. So I told him, come here, come here. And I told him what happened. He was like, what? And when I said where he lived and the address, that's my stomping ground. That's my neighborhood. I don't live that life no more, but I still know some people. Want me to go knock on the door? Want me to go knock on the door? I'm like, nah, I'm just saying, if somebody weird come into church today, I just, kind of look out for me. If you see somebody, that don't belong here or whatever, he was like, nah, I go knock on the door, whatever. So that particular day, every time somebody came to the church, that is that him? Is that him? He was on ready. So the guy, he never showed up at the church, where I never saw him. And it was spring break, maybe a couple of weeks later. And this particular year, they had implemented the law that you couldn't cruise with your birth certificate. You had to have a passport. And that's the year they came up with the cruise cards or whatever. And my baby boy, I was taking him. He was the only one who wanted to go on the cruise. And me and my ex-husband, we just couldn't seem to get our schedules together because when you're going for a child, both parents, have to go, whatever. So, camera died, so let me finish my story. I decided I was going to take my son to Atlanta. We got a season's pass for Six Flags, and I said, we'll go to Six Flags since me and the ex-husband couldn't get our schedules together to get the passport for my baby boy. So, I drove to Six Flags to Atlanta, and we went to Six Flags every day. And we sitting out by the pool one evening. It was an indoor pool. And remember, I had programmed him as do not answer. Phone, strange number. Pick up the phone. Hello. I just need to know, why did you leave? Why did you leave? I hung the phone up so fast. Cause I'm like, this is crazy. You know, this is 2 or 3 weeks later. And this fool is still calling me. I changed my number 4 times that year. 4 times. But still to this day, he'll pop up, send me a friend request. If you look at my block list on Facebook now, his name is on the block list. I don't know what type of impact I put on this man. But this man will still, it's 10 years later. I was turning 39. I'm 49 years old now, about to turn 50 in March. And this man will still pop up. But good, there was no incidents or anything. So, yeah. That's the end of the story. Thank you for watching. And make sure you like, get down in the comments, and tell me about your dating horror story. And I'll see you on the next video.